Okay. We're here. Back again. This is Eli here with Kirsten, my fiance, soon to be wife. Less than 90 days away. We've been watching My 90 Day Fiance here in this dope hotel condo that Kirsten got us for the weekend. So you guys can see the hotel
Sorry, I forgot that you
artwork.
were filming this too.
Hotel artwork and the sweet mirror. I think that this light has a reflection, at least off of that one. So that's nice. We've been watching 90 Day Fiance. B, would you mind diving into what that's all about?
So disclosure first off, I've been drinking.
Yeah, I think they could probably tell.
I know
we've
that.
got
Sorry,
well,
this is the first time I've done this. So
yeah.
hearing that, like, into the headphones, like
Into
that's
the mic,
best
yeah.
noise ever. But
yeah, I think they know we're drinking though.
I know that's fine. I just wanted
Yeah.
to. Anyways,
Yeah.
90 Day Fiance. It's a good show. That's basically where we're at, except I'm not foreign. He's not foreign.
It's the purpose of the show. Okay, so today was my first time seeing the show. I've heard about it, but is the purpose like they were engaged and now the show takes place 90 days out from their wedding, or did they meet and then they got engaged after only 90 days?
Right. Here's the thing is, like, the show from what I've seen, and I don't think it was the first season. Maybe it was the second season. Not entirely sure. But they meet them.
Okay.
But prior, obviously, they're talking. But when they meet them, their goal is to propose when they meet them. So I think they just give it like 90 days or whatever. It's just like a random number. I think it's just to rhyme. 90 Day Fiance.
Okay.
Like 80 Day Fiance doesn't sound as fun. But basically they propose or they don't propose, and then they get married shortly after. But it's, yeah. So they meet online. Usually it's like gold diggers, whoever's foreign. That sounds bad, but they want money. And then, they either fly out to America or the Americans fly out to wherever they're from. And then if everything goes right, they propose.
So there's no like actual tie to the 90 number?
No.
That's just, okay.
No.
I see. Okay. Well.
Not that I'm aware of, though. I mean, I've only watched it a little bit, but from what I've seen, like, they'll get married like a year or less, whatever, like 2 months or whatever. Like the Jamaican couple or whatever, they were engaged for like not long. I don't know. But they got engaged after 2 months of knowing each other.
Right. Yeah, so I guess it's just quick. And it seems like, I'm no professional, obviously, but it seems like they're all going to fail.
Yes. They normally do. To be fair, there was I remember like hearing, like, you see it like in like stories on Facebook or whatever. There was a guy from Ireland or something, and then a lady that had a baby, and she was like raising the baby with him as the father. And everywhere I saw, I was like, this is the only couple that's going to make it. It's so great. They're so wonderful, whatever. But this guy thought they were in an open relationship up until they got like married.
Oh.
Basically. And she was like, what?
She was like,
she didn't know that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, well, I proposed to you, so it's like an open relationship. And she was like, what? And she had a baby. But anyways, that was weird.
Well, they all have babies.
But they were rooting for them, like America or whoever was watching it. They thought that they would succeed, which is weird to me because that seemed like a very odd couple.
And how do they announce it to where, like, that people support them? How did you find out that
Social media.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're like, yeah, go Brad and
he's from Ireland.
Angelica from Brazil.
No.
Let's hope it
Ireland.
works.
She's
Yeah, I know.
America.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
Just in general. Yeah, great show though. It kind of falls into that whole my 600-pound life category.
The worst part about it though is just knowing that they're all going to fail. I mean, I don't think it happens successfully very often where someone can meet someone. But that's just the thing is, like I was explaining before, there's a blonde lady that's dating Jay, right? And they got married in Las Vegas.
Is Jay the Jamaican dude?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Jay short for Jamaican?
No. No.
Jay Macon.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay.
But anyways, like that, like she's like, oh, I'll forgive you. And like he cheated right after the wedding and she still forgave him, gave him multiple chances. Like it's just like really,
Mm-hmm.
it's very staged. And like I said, like she had her
You
hair
think it's
done,
staged?
her makeup done, like she's getting the money and she's like, I'm gonna get extensions, I'm gonna look all pretty. I just want the TV to watch or the people to watch me on TV.
Do you
She's
think
doing
it's
it.
staged?
Yeah. Well, okay, like the one we were just watching, like the mom, she went into like the fat blonde lady and her
Yes.
husband and
Mm-hmm. And the brother. They were like the Grenada
yes. And
lady,
she was gonna
yeah.
go there the next day or
The
whatever.
grenade.
Yeah. And yeah, that just seemed very staged.
It did. But it also seemed real for somebody who's super dumb.
That's fair. But if you look at where these people are from most of the time, not to sound
But it could be real.
they're all just maybe not educated. Or they're
At all.
That's the thing. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying too. Is so like the
They're not
ones that
educated at all.
the ones that like actually believe in it, and like you can tell they're more convincing. I feel like they do this for the thrill of it. Like that's their fetish. They want to meet someone from overseas. They probably just continuously like whatever. dating
All
app.
of them look like they don't meet anyone here.
Well, there's
Except yeah.
there's
this
an
dude
African
who's
American
just-
lady though. The African American lady, and she met that guy. Remember, he was like, "Don't come here, don't come here," and she's like, "I'm
Yeah.
coming there."
Dominican
like, she
Republic.
was really pretty and very like she was super
Yeah.
skinny, had a big
Yeah,
butt.
that's true. That doesn't make sense. That
No.
one doesn't make sense.
So that's why I was saying it's like a fetish. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
Yeah,
find
that's
someone
true. It must
overseas."
be.
Yeah.
For
and this
her.
lady has good eyeshadow. Sorry,
Yeah,
I missed
but-
it again.
No, I've seen her before. I mean, she looks like she's made of makeup. This couple right here, Evelyn and Corey.
No, yeah, these are the like the attractive couples. So there's
Yeah.
one like it was like an American dude that met some lady in like Mexico. He has a good job.
El Salvador or
He's-
something
yeah,
like
he's
that.
supporting her. and-
Ecuador.
Yeah, she's all like, "Well, we have to move here or
Mhm.
whatever," and
And he's like, I don't want to tell my family. And she's like, Mormons are stupid. And he's like, guess we're getting married.
I know, but they're both pretty. Like, I don't. She could find someone pretty wherever she's from, and he could. Well, he's okay.
Yeah, I think her thing is she was going for the money no matter what. And she just got lucky that he looks okay. Or he looks good. But she doesn't look like she said at the same time, I'm really happy I'm leaving. She's out of here. She doesn't care about him. So anyway, great show. Highly suggest it for those of you who have what is it, TLC?
Yeah,
Yeah.
TLC. I
Yep.
watch this every time I go up to my mom's house.
It's a good
I always
move.
pop it on, but it's always on.
Yeah. Just so you know, the more you move your hands on this, it makes noise. Like I can hear the noise of
I'm
it.
sorry.
It's okay. I'm just letting you know while
We
we're
can always
early
record
into it.
tomorrow too.
Yeah, I
That'll be
mean,
better.
we can put this out. I'm just not the best editor, so I don't really know what I'm doing. With that said, they can hear all the ice cubes in here.
Can't really hear it. Nope, still can't hear it. Can you hear me drinking? Just kidding. I'm so sorry. I love that noise. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
People are going to hate it, I bet.
I don't care.
Yeah, okay.
Hate me, America.
I don't think
No, I
America's
wouldn't like that.
going to say this.
I
Yeah.
know, but just
Yeah.
it's out there.
It is out
I
there.
do. Okay, so I did that the other day. What did I Google? I think it was the resort name, like Beaver Run. I was looking for like pictures or something, like with the hot tubs, because I was like, I want to know. I Googled myself, and there was like 3,000 results. Most of it was like videos of me playing volleyball that my mom posted for me to get into like college
Right.
scholarships and stuff. And I was in like, what was it? It was some newspaper. It was like a very whatever column. It was something like super popular nationwide.
I'm not a newspaper reader,
Yeah, I
so
don't know. It's
I
been
don't know.
forever. But I just remember my mom was like, holy crap, like they want to do an interview, because she did this like weird website that got me scholarship opportunities. And that's like primarily what shows up is like that interview. From
That's
some
cool.
website that she used. Yeah. I just remember that they took some weird, awkward pictures from me in my bedroom. Like when I was like 18, 17, whatever. And like I drew all over the walls. Remember
Mhm.
like the little...
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're going to take some pictures of you up in your bedroom. And I was like... And he took it from like a downward angle. And I was already fat when I was like however old. And so they took it from like down here. I had like 3 chins.
Whatever. And then with your wall as the backdrop?
Yeah.
Why did they want to do
I
that?
don't know. It was probably just because they were trying to like,
The inside scoop
yeah, I don't know.
on a
I
high school
tried to think, like,
volleyball
I
player?
thought about that before. I was like, why would they do that? Like, why wouldn't they just take the pictures from like the living room or something outside, whatever?
Outside.
I think they're trying to gather that like I was a high school student, you know, like just trying to get a scholarship somewhere to play volleyball, and like here's me in my bedroom, my like natural habitat, like this is me.
Natural habitat.
I didn't spend much time in my bedroom.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't have a TV. Did I
yeah,
have a
I
TV?
guess I
No.
get it, but it does seem like something that you would want to do outside. I don't know. But that's okay. It worked well enough because you did go to school for volleyball.
Yeah. That's fair.
I went to school for not volleyball.
Well, oh my God. Okay. Into the volleyball thing. Sorry. This is kind of rambling. But on the off chance that someday everyone, not everyone, but like enough people watch this, when I was in college, I got kicked off my volleyball team. And I still have nightmare. I had a nightmare about it like 2 nights ago. And it's like awful. So when I was in high school, I had different opportunities for college. Couple of like D2 schools, one D1, which was Alabama State University, and
I
that
remember.
was super intimidating. I should have done that. I really should have, but at the time I was young and scared. Went to a couple house parties that got like busted down there. It was very scary, and I was like, I can't do this. I went to a liquor store and they sold me booze at like 18 without IDing me. I was like, this is bad.
This is bad. I can't be here. This is perfect, but I can't be here.
Yeah, I went to California. That went pretty well. I mean, like for the most part, volleyball there was okay, but the person that I was living with, I like hopped couches. But the one primary person I stayed with for the longest was like huge troublemaker, which led to me doing bad things. And then eventually they were like, well, they didn't kick me off the team, but it was like, you need to get your shit together. And then I decided to come back home.
Right.
But then at Johnson and Wales, the first year I had to red shirt, is that what it's called? Something like that. So like,
Yeah, you like sit the sideline or whatever the first year, just practice.
exactly. And my old college roommate who was there doing the same position as me, she was only chasing her ex-boyfriend. So like he moved there to go to school there.
Okay.
And she was like, I told you about this. She like poked the holes in the condom, kind of crazy.
Real nice lady.
Right. But then like the coach there, redshirting, she was like, hell yeah. Like she worked the people too. She was like all into the physical activity. We're going to like get shit done. You're going to work hard. You're going to be, in shape. You're going to be strong. And there was a bunch of fat girls on the team at the time, and none of them were like into it. So they were all complainy and stuff.
Oh, sure.
But they eventually like tried to kick her off, like the academic whatever board.
The coach? They tried to get rid of the coach?
They did eventually. Like they pushed her out of there. And then they hired a new girl who brought in one of her good friends who was like well above our ages to go to school there, and she played my position.
Oh, I remember you telling me this. Yeah. Yep. Continue.
They were all awful. And I just remember like practice, everyone contributes in some way. I got benched at practice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Previously, I was supposed to be like the star, like, woo, this is like great. Like, she has good stats. She can jump. She can do, well, I can't really jump, but like at the time, they're like, she can jump and all these things.
You had those Reebok pumps so you could jump.
Yeah. But anyways, it was very good. I was set up for success. Like, I was supposed to be their star players. You know, the setter was like in all the time. You know, you're calling the shots and everything. I had a really good routine down with the players.
How was your relationship with the coach who got booted?
Great. I remember we still talked when she left. I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I honestly always had your back. Like, I know that people were complaining the fact that you made us do like conditioning drills.
Right.
It's college.
Sports.
Like, it's not high school. Like, get over it. But there was a bunch of
suicide drills
girls on the team, and they were the ones that complained.
At Johnson and Wales?
Yeah.
So they just got a bunch of fatties on the team at that time?
Yeah.
I wonder what the team looks like now.
Yeah, so I don't know, the men's volleyball team, when I went to school there, like, dominated. Like, they were very well known across the country, and they, like, went on to compete in, like, different national competitions. But, yeah, like, my team, the next year when they did actually let me play a little bit, like, the only games that my team won were the ones that I played in. And then I got benched the rest of the season, and then they put in like, and her friend was fat. To be fair, she was fat, and she couldn't.
To be fair.
Right. She couldn't. No, she wasn't good, but it was her friend. So the coach, it was her friend. And then my mom started looking at other schools for me. And then, of course, they were like, you're not, trustworthy and you suck. And so we're kicking you off the team. And I remember feeling so sad and crying.
That is lame. So you started that year, you actually started that year, but after a few games, the lady was like, my friend's going to take over from here?
No. So, well, I mean, she was always around, but they like had me playing those games. And when they saw that I was playing better than her, I don't know why, they just took me out of the games and they put her in. I'll never have an explanation to it as to why, but I still, like I said, have nightmares where they just like, well, you suck, we're taking you out. But that year, like, there is stats that prove the games that I played and the like setups that I had. I can't remember the name, like what they called that stuff, but
Bump set spike?
sure. But the amount that I did was way better than the games that I wasn't
That you
included
didn't
in.
play.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, they kicked me off, and I wish now, as an adult, I wish that I was like, 20? I wish that I would have been like, screw all of you. Like, you all suck. Thanks for no one on this team for supporting me. And like, you just kicked me off. I was actually so relieved the day after. I remember I went home. I lived in that apartment like 2 blocks away from the college, and it was gated, but I like went and laid in the grass. Like, the sidewalk was in clear view, and I just like cried. I laid in the grass, and I was like, oh my God, like, that was so awful, but I can't believe like I don't have to suffer through those awful practices.
That terrible conditioning.
Right. No, the conditioning was good. I like that. It's so funny because like the team, I used to go into the gym, and they had a really good gym at my college, and I would run prior to my practices. So, I used to run like 6 miles a day.
Floyd Mayweather.
Right. But I would go run before practice, and they would be like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I'm good to go. Yeah. But
Can't even imagine. But
I still have nightmares. So bad.
That's tough. Yeah, I don't know. I gave up on sports pretty early. I loved playing racket football. And because I happened to be like, my age was that sweet cutoff age where I was nearly the very youngest person in my grade every year. And racket football, they cut it off at like age 12 or something. So I was in 8th grade, and in the beginning of 8th grade, I was still 12. I hadn't turned 13 yet, so I was able to sign up for racket football. My stepbrother Aaron and I were on the same team.
What is racket football?
It's just what they call like little league football. It's not like school sponsored football team. It's just like the little
a hobby. Daycare.
I mean, no, and no, but yeah, everyone else probably knows it's just like a less or just not a school league. Pretty much you would play racket up until 7th grade. Then 7th grade you could play 7th grade school football, 8th grade school football, high school football. But because of my age, I was able to play racket, and I was able to compete against kids who were a year younger than me. And when you're 11, competing against a 12-year-old who is soon to turn 13 or just turned 13, that's a much bigger gap than, like, I don't know, nowadays competing against 26-year-old or something. It's not as big of a difference. But at that time, I was a lot larger than a lot of the kids. And so it was a ton of fun.
Steroids.
Yeah, steroids in the 8th grade at 12.
Injecting them in your butt.
Aaron and I would inject it into each other. But, yeah, I played that. And then, let's see, freshman year of high school, I did shot put for track.
I did that. I did track in 8th grade. No, I take that back. 7th grade.
Did you do
in Wisconsin?
What event?
I did the thing where you...
Is that discus? Talking about
you
like
throw the thing. Isn't that a shot put? Or you just like...
Well, the way that your arm is throwing whatever that is, I don't know what it... Because there's discus that looks more like whatever you're doing.
No, but that was... What's a shot put?
Shot put is the large ball that you hold by your neck.
There you go. So I'm sorry.
You throw it from from right by your neck, and you launch it like
I
that.
just remember
A
that it
discus
was.
is the disc that you actually throw like that.
I know, but it was a long time ago, and I just remember that I joined track because all my friends did it,
Same.
and I needed to do a certain amount of events, so I did like the jump thing, the jump.
Hurdles? Long jump?
I did the hurdles, and I was actually okay at the
Really?
hurdles, surprisingly, right? Because I can't jump.
Gazelle.
I can run, but I can't jump. But then
Gazelle.
the long jump,
Yeah.
I failed miserably at that one. I just remember like, oh, whatever.
Whatever, indeed. Yeah, I chose to do shot put because
This one.
playing a sport in high school counted as a gym credit. So, like, if I did the sport, then I would take one less gym class. And I was certainly not at all excited about being very physically active in high school. Maybe like senior years when I started actually lifting weights. But before then, it was just kind of, let's take the easiest route until I can get home and do whatever and get homework done and be done. But yeah, my friend Alex, you know Alex and Peter, but
Real fish man. Real fisher man.
I don't know what that means.
Remember when we were there and he was talking about how he created some like troll account? It was like a fishing account, and then he would just pretend to know what he's talking about or something and troll people.
Yeah, I wish I remember what that name was, but Alex, not Peter. Alex ran long distance. He did cross country and he did he did the long distance and track running.
I'd probably be really good at that now.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. But he and I were real tight, so I wanted to do it. I was like, well, he's doing track. I should do track. I can get this gym credit. I tried doing track. I tried doing the long distance running. And me, being a not at all long distance runner, didn't make it very far, called it quits. One day we were supposed to like go out and run 5 miles and come back or something.
Oh, my God.
Alex and I, we ran out, ran like 2 blocks away to our friend Tony's place, hung out there for a while, and then came back to the gym. No, I think we just went over there and hung out. But, yeah, just whatever to get out of the physical activity. So I did that. I threw shot put freshman year. I remember so distinctly the coach at the end of the season, he was like, you know, before next year, you might want to consider getting in the gym a little bit.
Nice. Dick.
Like, I'm here for the credit, dude. I threw discus a couple of times, and one of the times I threw it, there's a kid named Lawrence who went to our high school. He also did the throwing sports, and he walked onto the field like as I was throwing the discus, and it almost hit him. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I just walked up to the coach and I was like, hey, I just don't feel comfortable doing this. And he was like, okay, well, you can focus on shot put. So it was pretty dope. Like, our warm-up would be run 1 time around the track, and then we'd stretch and throw.
1 time around the track? Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Everyone else's warm-up was like 3 times or whatever, like 3/4 of a mile or something like that. And we just ran like actually not even 1 full lap, but yeah, that was the dream. The next year, I wanted to do long jump. I was like, okay, let's step it up a little bit. And then our training involved sprints, and then I was like, yeah, shin splints. I quit. So I don't get those anymore.
I actually did at one point. Jordan still gets those, the shin splints.
I could see that. He runs a long distance. I think mine was the flat-footed deal.
Freak.
And just...
Sorry. Just kidding. Not kidding, though. Sorry, just kidding.
All right. Well, to anyone out there who has flat feet, just know that my fiance hates you. So, and she thinks you're a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was a big cause of it, but I've like built arches back in my feet since then because of posture. Okay. Okay.
I feel like we should play this card game.
Okay.
So we have this. So I recently went on my little bachelorette party. This is for the people that don't know, whoever listens, like 2 friends. Our moments, couples, game thing, conversation starters for great relationships. And like every now and then I see like stupid quizzes online or whatever. Like if you know your, significant other, like you can be able to answer these questions about each other, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I'll look at those and I'll be like, I don't know this. Is that bad? But anyways, this game seems like it would solve all of those problems. It has random questions. Some of them are a little weird. So this is kind of like a don't know what else to say. I mean, we can talk about a lot of things, but I just thought this game was really interesting because I haven't busted these out yet for a couple of weeks now, so figured I would.
Yeah, you gotta be 18 plus to play.
So they're sexual.
Yeah, so our moment as couples, it's not for high school couples, apparently.
Well, who's paying attention?
Okay.
What is something that you've tried that you'll never ever try again? That you've tried. So it's not something that you've done a lot, but something that you've done once or twice.
That's a good question.
It's a tough question, apparently. All right, let's take that back. What's something that you've done, not necessarily tried, but you've never do it again?
Yeah, I'm kind of putting those in the same category.
I'll say drugs. I don't know. Like the kind that alter your mind in a bad way.
Yeah.
Every time, like even like for example, like electronic music or shows or whatever. Like I really like the Bonobo, whatever. Like I really like that music, and I could
that's
picture,
like down tempo. Yeah, that's
right,
calmer.
But I could picture being like 20, whatever, 18, like 19. I was young, and like doing something like that and trying to listen to music like that, and it still makes me feel nauseous and like couldn't do it. But that music, like that would be the only band that I think I could do something like that again too. But every time I think about it, I picture my brain with all the holes in it.
Yeah. See, and I don't know, even like Bonobo, I'm not sure if that's like do a bunch of drugs music. Definitely if you smoke some weed, that'll take you to the next level, but
really,
it's not like Skrillex or something,
Not some of that. You'd be like,
you probably would just because,
right, but it'd give me anxiety. Like I'm way too anxious now.
Yeah. Something that I've done or tried, not tried, something that I've done that I would never do again, just to like, because of your example, I'll relate to it, is go to a music festival. I've done that a couple of times. 0.000% interest.
What kind of music festival though? Like one that you camp out, or like one that you just go and it's a bunch of bands?
I've done both.
See, I'm going to a couple of I'm at least going to one music festival with Courtney towards the end of this year after our wedding, and it's like a rock show.
It's going to be terrible.
I love that kind of music and I will enjoy it. But I remember one time I did go to something like that, and I didn't have any guy with me that day. There was like this big dude that was following me around, and he was very nice, but there was some guy that like slapped my butt or something. And then like the guys that I was with, like Courtney's boyfriend at the time, this random dude, like went and like gave him some shit, like, why are you touching random girls and stuff? It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's the same reason why I don't want to go anymore.
Yeah,
I got touched on the butt too much.
I've gone to stuff like that, and they're like people, you get up to the front row of like a big stage or whatever, and then at least this one particular time.
Oh, the people who push.
No, well, yeah, but then there was like some guy once. It was a Volbeat concert, because I love Volbeat, and this guy came up, and he was pushing his way up to the front, and he like pulled out a knife, and he just like opens it up, and he was like, get out of the way. And Courtney and I were like, no, like we're not afraid of your knife, like get out of here. That guy was scary though. We didn't move. And then there was another time that a guy pushed Courtney.
As you should.
And then we were like, what the hell? And like that time we were there without any guys, and some guy like nearby us like pushed him away. It was like, dude, you can't hit a girl.
So you're excited to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I lost all of that. I don't know. I think I went to, I think the main reason why I went was because of friends going. And as soon as people started pushing past me, like, call me crazy. If I want to be front row, I'm going to get there early. And if people just start trying to push to get front row, Papa don't like.
Yeah.
So,
No.
yeah, just iron wall. But I hated it so much. People just like grinding on you to try to get past you to get to the front. I can't do it.
I remember
I have no desire to do that anymore.
concert-wise when you and Derek went to that concert. And I remember I went to
I want to tell that story sometime. I don't know if it's
You don't have to
appropriate,
now.
but I would love to tell that story sometime because Derek, if you're watching this at sometime, some way, sometime, somehow, my old roommate Derek, Run the Jewels concert in Denver, Colorado. Yeah. Terrible night. So, not
But I
because of
saved
Run the
you.
Jewels. I have no idea about that, but because of Derek. And I love you, Derek. And
But I
Kirsten
picked you
came
up
to
one
save
night.
us.
That
Yeah.
was when we first started dating too. We weren't together for that long, and I was in Denver at a Bring Me the Horizon concert.
Yeah. And I don't
Which is a
even
rock
know what
concert.
that is.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like they were. I mean, that's like a. I can't say the P word, but it was like a wussy mosh. So like it was definitely.
You can say the P word.
Whatever. But
And you went with a coworker or something?
Derek.
Boss?
Derek. That's like one. He works with Kyle.
Another
and we
Derek?
used to be good friends.
Oh. I don't know if I actually know him. Maybe I
You
do.
might have met him once.
Does he have
at like
longer
a
hair?
party. At a party, like at my mom's house, the Oktoberfest or whatever.
He's longer
married.
hair?
Yeah, he's like
Okay,
half Indian
taller?
or something. Yeah,
I think I remember meeting him serving beer at that
yeah.
when
Oktober.
you were
Yep.
yeah.
We used to talk and hang out like a lot.
I
and
remember.
We don't talk at all or hang out anymore. I'm not even
Yeah.
friends with him on Facebook. But
Oh
yeah,
well.
I was there.
Yeah, so we were both at shows with people named Derek that night, and yours went better than mine, and you helped me out, picked me up, saved me, and then we both saved Derek my Derek.
I remember it was like
Because my Derek was lost in translation.
well, it was dumping rain that night. And I remember it was very scary to drive home, but I didn't let you.
We had no rush, yeah, and
Right.
then we got home and we laid on the couch, and I think we turned on The Office.
But jumping around, anyways, one thing we never do again: drugs at concerts or concerts in general.
Yeah.
Another card. What's one thing you're deeply proud of but would never put on your resume?
2008 most unique Portage Central High School.
Seriously, that's it.
No, I don't know. That's just something that I thought might be funny to say that came up pretty quickly. I don't know. Something that I'm deeply proud of, but I wouldn't put on my resume. I would assume that it wouldn't be work related then, because if it were work related and I were proud of it, it would go on my resume.
Right.
So I guess something that I'm really proud of, but I wouldn't put on my resume. Yeah, I don't know. This?
What's one mistake you keep repeating?
That's a lot of noise.
I don't hear it in my.
I do.
Sorry.
You answer, please.
One mistake that I keep repeating. I would say drinking on the weekdays. Like I know that drinking is like it's like a fun thing to do on the weekends, and I definitely overindulge on the weekends. Like I always drink on the weekends now. There hasn't been a weekend in
Really?
a long time since I haven't drank. Yeah, it's every single weekend, but sometimes it slips into the weeknights, and even if it's just like a glass or so of wine.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think about that as being a mistake or anything,
I
but
know, but I feel like it's a little much, especially with the fact that as I'm getting older, like you mentioned, like I kind of like yo-yo with my weight and exercise, and like I'm trying to maintain something similar, the same, and if I drink, it definitely like throws me off a little bit, like less wanting to work out the next day, or like even if it's not a lot of booze, sometimes I'm just more tired.
I get it.
But I'll keep doing it. Sorry. This is for show.
Sure, yeah. Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I don't know what mistake. I mean, I'm sure you could tell me what mistake I keep repeating. Is there something that I do over and over that bothers you?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. They're pretty good all the time for the most part. I would say sometimes I feel like I get a little overwhelmed by like your work kind of, and just like the things that you
It's
want to
not a
do
mistake,
for fun.
though.
Yeah, I know. It's just like just certain things. Like you get busy and then I feel a little neglected.
Yeah, but I have to do a lot of that stuff.
I know.
And look at where we are now.
Thanks to me.
Thanks to you.
Literally where we are now. Just
Well, yeah, literally where we are now. And then thanks to where we are now. Yeah, I don't know. Takes a lot of work, I guess, but part of it's nice because doing stuff like this distracts me from the load of doing all the other work, you know? It's like finally it's work, but it's something fun.
I thought of something just now.
Okay.
Mistakes you keep repeating. So this is something that would have been in the past. Social media. I remember that would drive me crazy. Like, I think it was before you took relationships a little, well, at least ours, a little more seriously. And I won't talk details, but just like certain things that you would do that I'd be like, really? Can you please stop that? And you would keep doing it. Like, it's just like liking photos or whatever. Something simple like that.
Yeah.
And maybe to you it didn't seem that important, but to me it was like nails on a chalkboard. I'd be like, really? Thanks, Eli.
Well, since then, the social media has been deleted.
Yes.
I mean, we do have a social media page for this podcast, but there is no content on it because, yeah, I mean, well, it was bad. I did some stupid stuff that we've gone through and gotten over, which is great. But one good result of that is that I've deleted Instagram, Snapchat. I'd never really used Twitter, but I deleted it off of my phone. These things that just kind of suck time. And I mean, I spend so much time doing homework and stuff like this, and I know that I'm sucking time, like learning about podcasting and what it takes, but it's productive. So, yeah.
Reasonable. Okay, I'll take it.
And hey, I love you.
Love you. What's one dream that you've tucked away for the moment? I would like
if it's a literal dream, then yeah, I don't know. I don't actually dream, so I don't know. But I don't tuck away my dreams.
No, I know.
You know that.
I don't think I do either. Oh, well, okay, one dream that I can say I tucked away because it'll be a while before it happens is I would like a horse. Because I'm
macaroni.
afraid of horses. I'm afraid of horses. They do intimidate me. They're a little freaky. But, someday, which is probably the next year, couple of years or so, we'll get that house up in Mountain Town and we'll have a horse.
Yeah.
Macaroni and a goat named Cheese, which is going to be welcome into our house.
Cheese will be?
Yeah, Cheese.
Okay. Maybe we should have a window that we can keep open that Macaroni can put his head into. That'd be nice. Can I do one of these?
Yeah,
and read it to you?
Yeah, the last one was really annoying.
Okay.
It was something about proud moment in the last 12 months, but I think we just talked about proud stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole tucking the dream away thing, I guess one thing that I'm pretty happy about is that if there's something that I'm interested in, I'll just do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just work towards it. I'll make time. I'll carve it out. I'm busy, but I'll make it happen. So yeah, I don't know. There are dreams that I give up on.
Well, the best part about what we do and us together, I feel like we equally understand each other's dreams or things that we want, and we work together.
Well, you don't believe in me, but
whatever. I do sometimes, to be fair. Okay. This podcast, it's questionable. I'm having fun right now, though. I feel like I'm talking to an audience, but it's just a camera. But it's okay.
It's not just a camera.
Hi, camera. 2 cameras.
Hey, Derek.
You better send this to him. He'll be like...
Are you ready for this?
Sure.
What was the best part of your day so far?
Oh, man. I think the best part of my day was just waking up and knowing that we would be coming here today and rushing you through everything. Hurry up. We got to go. Oh my God, you're taking forever. But the fact that it was just so funny to me. I was so annoyed, but at the same time I was like, oh my God, I love him. He's just diddle daddling or whatever around, taking his time. And then we got up here And we're on the first floor, people. Like, this resort is really nice, but, like, who wants to be on the first floor and look at the parking lot? Like,
I do.
He convinced me that this is okay for a lot of money a night, just throwing that out there. And here we are on the first floor. And somehow I
Comfortable.
appreciate it. Like, it's fun. I'm having fun. And he did that to me. So
got a
that's
dope
my favorite
place.
part of today,
Yeah.
is just knowing that I didn't like it, but I love him so much that whatever makes him happy, like, I'm happy. So here we are.
That's nice, B. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just have to assume that the best part of my day so far was getting here, walking in, and checking this place out. It's
Are
been
you sure
so
not
awesome.
my driving? I drove very well today.
No, definitely wasn't the best part of my day. I was hungry that whole ride.
I know. I could eat more pizza.
Pizza was a good part of the day.
Ooh, you know what's going to be even good that we haven't done yet, though, is going outside at some point and smoke those, like, little baby cigars. They're so
Yeah.
good. Acid. You can be our sponsor. Acid Cigars.
Acid cigars
They
or LSD. Either
Oh my
form
God,
of
no,
acid.
Cigars. They have, like, the
Sponsor
little
us.
tiny boys, but they're so good. Like, any woman.
Careful with your use of boys. Just kidding.
Whatever.
I know.
Vapey boys. Whatever.
Baby boy.
But like the little cigars or even normal cigars, like a lot of time they're super harsh, but the acid cigars, they are super sweet. Like they are like dipped in sugar or something crazy, and they're very
Crazy.
good.
Yeah, so we haven't been doing it as much recently, but for a stint there, like leading up to Christmas and for a little while after Christmas, we would do like a Friday night where we'd just sit outside and smoke a cigar, which takes like an hour at least to do. So it's a great excuse to just chat. And,
Yes.
I was thinking
I
about
love
like
that,
maybe
because-
we just like get more of these covers because they would reek like cigars, and then we could just do this like sitting
wait,
outside.
But here, anyone's opinion. No one's listening. But nights, like NIGHTS at the round table, because we have a round table outside.
Yeah.
We could film this outside, or
The
nights-
domain name is not available.
nights on. Wait, what did I say? Nights
You
on.
said nights at the round table.
No, that's what you said.
No, Knights of the Round Table is what I
Oh,
said.
nights of the round table, but
Yeah.
nights at. Like it's still, you still get that general
Yeah.
sense of nights of the round table, but we're just like, it's the nights.
I haven't
and
checked
we're-
the domain name on that. It may be worth looking into, but at the same time,
Probably super obvious, probably taken.
maybe we should just have that as like our side episodes in the same channel. We'll just call those ones Knights at the Round Table or Knights of the Round Table.
At.
I like of.
I like at.
Of is
Round
more
table.
proper.
This table is round,
Camelot.
everyone. This is awesome.
Yeah. And
so
it
like,
is night.
I upgraded our room today, just throwing that out there. So like originally we're supposed to be in a regular hotel room that had 2 queen-size beds, little hotel boy, and I upgraded to, we've got a fireplace now. We've got a pull-out
We
bed.
do have a
mattress
fireplace.
Thing. We have our own bedroom in here.
Bedroom.
There's a huge
Bathroom.
tub. There's a really nice shower. There's like a separate toilet area.
Separate toilet.
So when you have to poop, it's loud too. You turn on the light in there.
Loud
it's like,
poop. A loud light.
Yeah, there's lots of space in here. It's really nice. So this table,
Activities.
previously, it would have been like a little square table in the corner of the room. So I'm super excited.
And
that
now
I
we
did
got this little poker table.
I know, but see,
glass
it's nice.
covered.
Like before, it was just like a little.
No,
in
I
the
know.
corner.
This is awesome. We're using such a small fraction of this area right now.
There's so much. We could sleep in the living room today if we wanted. Just kidding.
That bed is calling
know.
us. Okay, B.
This
You
one.
ready for this? Oh. No, we said that we weren't going to do that one. What was the most agonizing hour of your life?
I'll pass.
Yeah, same.
It's a little traumatizing.
Nope.
Oh no, that's bad because you can't answer that, which means that it wasn't with me.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that there's no such thing. I don't know.
You can't think of like the question. So
Yeah,
people,
read the
to
question.
clarify, what
Yeah,
was
read the
the
question.
best kiss of your entire life?
who cares, you know? What was the best kiss of your life? Do you have an answer for that? Seems like such a, not to generalize ladies, but it seems like such a tailored for a lady question. How different are kisses?
Yeah, that's fair. I get where you're coming from.
I mean, I know you don't care for mine. So
That's because you, well, no, I do
write me
care.
out.
To be fair, I do care. But
As long as
okay,
my mouth is closed.
ladies out there, he has huge
Ladies.
lips. Huge lips. And so they're super spitty. I don't know how to explain. I don't know. Like
Very
you,
spitty.
like when you're making out, like you can kiss. Kissing is fine. But the making out, I have to be like semi-intoxicated or just like really happy and excited at the moment. And then I'll be like,
never.
although to be fair, I do stick my tongue like in your mouth sometimes and you're uncomfortable. Or it's maybe just
Well, you like
your lips.
force your lips or your tongue into my mouth. Like we'll kiss closed mouth, and then you just push your tongue through into my mouth. Yeah.
There's a bad question.
It is. I mean, it's not that I don't want to share. It's just that I literally don't have a best kiss of my life.
I guess that's good, though. That's a good question. Like, all these questions are kind of dumb, but at the same time, you wouldn't think to ask someone that you're with these questions. So it is kind of nice. Like, you can talk about it and be like, oh, I don't have a favorite kiss. But I would always say any kiss with anyone that I'm with, it's the first one. So there we go. Bam.
Ooh.
Bam. At the park. Purple Park. There we go. Sorry, I had
with
to
your
think about it.
convertible and your
No.
pink hair.
No. I just remember meeting on Tinder, right? And
we met on
you
Tinder.
didn't talk very much, and so I talked a lot.
Not a talker.
And we walked around the park, and then right before we left, like you seemed super quiet, not into it. I was like, okay, whatever. And then you asked if you could kiss me, and I was like,
gentlemen.
Okay. And then you were like,
can I kiss you? Yeah. And then I just laid waste to your face.
And then I texted you on the way home.
Yep. I was driving home. You may have gotten home. You live pretty close to there. I was almost home in Gun Barrel. I don't live there anymore, but I was almost home there, and I got a message from you that just said, damn. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but then that shirt was god-awful. I thought you were like a gay biker.
Yeah, I did have a very, very tight and deep bad combo V-neck. Yeah. I wore shorts.
You seemed way older than like you are. I felt like I was going out with like a very manly adult.
Oh, that's so dumb. Yeah. Well, the shoes that I had Nike Air Max. I ended up selling those on Craigslist, but yeah, I definitely didn't look.
I feel like I've always
dressed differently,
like unprofessional or younger than my age. Like I'm stuck in that like PacSun, like BC Surf and Sport. Like I always get clothes from those places, and I'm 28. Like I should be shopping
I don't think that's bad.
The Banana Republic or like Express.
But
places.
You don't shop at PacSun anymore.
BC.
When?
That dress that I just got, the one that's off the shoulder, the long black one, that one's from BC.
Well, that's really nice.
My swimsuit today.
Yeah. Well, those are really nice. Doesn't matter where it's from. Speaking of very nice, Versace tie for the wedding.
That's very good.
That's very, very good. More expensive than the suit, so I'm excited about that. All right, B. What do you value most? Free time, recognition, or money?
I'm going to say I have a lot of free time, so it's definitely less important. I know you have a lot less, but when you think about it, my downtime, like obviously after work hours, I don't have anything outside of work that I need to get done. And work is super like giving. Like I definitely, if I need to take hours off or something like that, I can. So recognition, I don't care. I don't give two shits about that. So money.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would say like free time sounds nice, but even my free time I fill. So I don't know, for the most part anyway. I love playing video games, but I'm doing it less with depending on what hobbies I have and how busy I'm staying with other things that I want to do. the free time goes away, but it is free time. I'm just filling it with things that I like to do. So I do like that. Recognition.
You get that at work, like, every now and
No,
then, and it's enough. You're like, well, you don't. Like,
yeah,
I
no,
do.
I
It's
don't.
like every now and then I get a call out, but yeah.
The recognition that I get from work, it's very interesting. Sometimes my boss will say thank you.
Thank you.
She says
you.
thank you a lot for.
I know, but you said thank you.
Okay.
I hate that.
I said the word.
Thank you.
My manager will occasionally say that she appreciates what I do, but most of the time I get reports like from my boss saying so and so who doesn't work here says that you're great, or I talked to this person and they really like you. So that's the recognition that I get, but I don't really care. I brush it all off because it doesn't really matter. Like, if I were getting paid to be recognized, cool. But yeah, I'm with you there. I think money allows me the freedom to do the other stuff that I really want to do, like this, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'd say that would be the one.
Yeah. Money can buy happiness.
Yeah.
Oh, this is stupid.
It can if you aren't depressed. What do you love about your hometown?
I know, like nothing. No, actually, I take that back. Oh, God, I see flashing lights out there. What's happening?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Ooh, those are like police lights or something.
Like right there. This makes me worried. Okay, so I was thinking about this. You had all of your shit, like, sprawled.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't talk.
I had stuff on the table earlier.
Right, and like we had this open a little bit, so anyone walking past, if they're like, oh, they've got a bunch of possessions in there, we can just break in.
Yeah, I guess they would just have to, like, because the blinds are pretty much closed, they would really have to get up on the window to look in here to see that there's stuff.
Well, earlier it was like half open, so I could see people being like, what's up in there? And like you had...
I just don't know how quickly you, like, I don't know how easily you can see in here from outside, and we're in the corner. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Like, somebody would have to see the stuff. They would have to get close enough to see in here to look at what's in here, and then they would have to have the balls to actually try to break in here, which
we'll shoot them.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't see anyone trying to do that at a resort that's pretty empty right now. Although I am very curious to know what the lights are about.
But they stopped, right?
They stopped. That was quick.
That reminds me of when I lived
right
in Denver.
Outside here.
Locked down. They blocked off the whole block. Helicopters and everything.
So how did you know that? Did they like announce over loudspeakers or something that don't get out of your house or something?
No. So this was like a random time when I lived in Denver, close to Johnson and Wales. I was like 2 blocks away. Okay. And this is when I lived with Courtney. Rent at the time, Denver people, $375 a month per person, 2 people. So it was like $735 in Denver. Hella cheap.
$375
per person.
And then that times 2 is what?
$735. $372.
Okay.
I can't do what
No, it's okay.
$372.50 or something was $375 or whatever.
That's like the pretty much
$352.
I want to say that Rich and I were paying for a 2-bedroom place, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I think that we were paying like $345 each.
Right, it's expensive, and we're not
before I moved out here. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's kind of crazy to think that at one point Kalamazoo's prices were similar to Denver.
Right, but that was when I was like 21.
Yeah, I know. That was when I was like 21.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Before I moved out here.
Very similar.
Yeah.
And that was a nice apartment, too. 2 bedrooms, washer, dryer, huge kitchen, living room. Anyways.
We didn't have a washer, dryer,
yeah. But yeah, I remember one time we got put on lockdown and there was a helicopter circling. They were looking for someone apparently that had like some sort of gun, and he like had shot someone or he had robbed someone, something crazy, and he was hiding out in the area. And there were cops.
Tight.
They were like, they had their lights off all together, just driving around up and down the
blocks.
That's
the creepiest.
Yeah. And like, so we knew like, oh, something's going on. And I was hiding below the window. I was like, I don't want to get shot. Like, this is scary. And my boyfriend at the time, he worked like long shifts, whatever, like late at night.
Good guy.
No,
Okay.
he was the worst.
Yeah, I know.
Not
All
actually,
of them were
to
the
be fair,
worst.
well, yeah, he was pretty much the worst. He like comes in first for the worst with another guy. But anyways,
Tied for worst.
yeah. But anyways, he tried to get back. The police like didn't want to let him in. They had our entire block blocked off, like our block specifically. And he apparently pulled up like on the side of the road, jumped out of the van, and like ran across the grass. Like we were on the corner basically, but he like booked it to get in, and the cops chased after him until he got inside. He got inside. He was good. So like, yeah, it was weird. It was
So they stopped chasing him once he got inside?
Yeah.
That seems
Yeah,
like
but
a
I think-
real weak police chase.
No, it was very weird. But at the same time, he didn't have any weapons on him, and I think that was very apparent. And I think that they were just
I don't
suspicious.
think that's ever very apparent.
I don't know. Maybe
You know
the
how
Denver police suck.
yeah.
But anyways,
I don't know.
he made it in. He was like, they were freaking out, didn't want me to come in here, blah, blah, blah. We watched it. I mean, Courtney and I were looking out the window.
You
We
saw
it
like
happen.
cops like chase him up
Yes.
to the door, and then they're like, well,
It was probably up to the gate. I don't know
He
if it was up
closed
to
the
the door. Because
door.
there was a gate, like I said, like a gated like little area. So he ran up there, and then they realized he lived there, so he was good.
or he could have been the guy who just killed the person.
Could have been. I wouldn't doubt
Yeah,
it.
I
He's the
don't know.
worst.
Well, God bless him.
What's the craziest thing we've ever done together? I would say.
I have no idea. Crazy.
Everyone bangs in the hot tub, though. To be fair,
To be
an
fair,
apartment complex, hot
everyone.
tub, everyone does it. What can you do? We'll skip that one pretty fast.
wow.
If you wrote romance novels or erotic fiction,
Thanks,
what
babe.
would your pen name be?
Pen 15.
Boring too. If you were to die 3 hours from now, what would you regret most? Nothing.
Not drinking more water.
Oh, really? Like right now, are you thirsty?
Yeah,
Water?
just a little bit. Thanks, B.
Yeah, your throat kind of dries out when you talk a lot. We don't
Yeah,
have
but I mean, I'll like if I died, yeah, then like at least now I've got some water, so that's okay.
I don't regret anything because I recently told my mom that I stole money from her once when I was young. And I recently told her,
yeah.
and then I paid her back very well. So now I have 0 regrets, and I'm happy to say that I have 0 regrets.
That's nice.
It feels really good. It feels so good. Like there's like literally nothing to hide. Like I have nothing. That was one thing that ate me up inside for the longest time, and now it's just gone.
Yep. I don't have anything like that, you know? And I may sound
regret-
weird, but I never took anything from my parents.
Well, good for you, Mr. Goody Two Shoes.
I don't know. I think my mom would have allowed it, but God bless her too. If you were heading out on a road trip right this minute, what would you pack?
Everything.
Yeah,
It's
same.
dumb.
Dumb question.
Dumb.
Dumb.
If you had an extra $100 to spend on yourself every week, what would you do? I spend like more than that each week.
Yeah, I
What
know.
is this for poor
Whatever.
people? If you could sit down with your if you could sit down with your 15-year-old self, what would you tell him or her? Don't sleep with every guy that wants to sleep with you. That's what I would say.
Sleep with more guys that want to sleep with you. That's what I would say.
15-year-old me, 15-year-old me, I was just like down to clown, right? I was ready to go.
15-year-old me. I think I may
Save your money, be responsible.
but I never got like out of control.
Don't do drugs. Make smart decisions. Like every like
Nah, I wouldn't listen to
stereotypical-
me if I said some boring shit like that. I think I would have to, if I sat down with my 15-year-old self, I would have to say something so epic to like make it.
Okay, pretend that your young self pays attention and will make these changes.
Yeah, but
What could you say?
okay,
Don't
now
go to
we're
music
adding stuff.
festivals.
No,
right?
no. If me sat down next to 15-year-old me, I would like to see current
Cut
me
your hair.
with like long white hair, like a long white beard and everything
Good
too.
luck with the beard.
But if it's like, it could be scraggly, it doesn't matter, just long and white. And then I would sit next to myself, and then I would just start speaking Cantonese fluently.
You can't do that.
So if I could sit down. Oh, okay. One better. If I could sit down next to my 15-year-old self, I would just start reciting lines from Rush Hour. And then I would have a fun conversation talking about Rush Hour with my 15-year-old self. Shouts out to Jackie Chan. Shouts out to Chris Tucker.
That's it. You wouldn't be like, don't do this, don't do that, don't ever.
I wouldn't listen to me. If it were funny, okay.
Okay, I get that not listening to like parents maybe, but like yourself,
But-
imagine.
Okay, that could also just be somebody who says that they're me. You know? How does 15-year-old me believe that it's current me?
I don't know. Yeah, this is a stupid one.
Somebody just has to ask the right questions.
This is a simple one though. If you could master any instrument on earth, what would it be?
I want to hear your answer.
I would say the
Skin flute?
violin. I would like to play the. Seriously, violin. I think the violin would be fun.
I think the violin would be awesome. I
Or
used
that
to
big
play the
boy,
trumpet. I
like the
definitely
big
didn't
violin.
master it, but
the big violin boy.
the big violin?
The big violin boy, like the long cello or something.
Like the stand-up bass?
There you go.
Okay.
What's your answer?
I like violin. I also really like the violin.
Ooh, I like this one. If you could have tea with one fictional character, who
Can
would
I
it be?
guess yours?
Oh yeah,
Iron Man?
no, the Punisher.
Really?
Yeah, I would say the Punisher.
No way.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Iron Man definitely, but my mom and Kyle spoiled the ending to the most recent Avengers movie, and for some reason I don't like what they said, and without spoiling to you, I just feel like the
Not that
Punisher
I care.
lasts forever.
Wow. Did you... Wow, that's a weird statement. But, like, we watched the couple seasons of The Punisher on Netflix. Same guy, right? That's who you're talking about?
Yeah.
And the first one was really dope.
The second one was pretty good. It was a little more
Second
like
one
the
was
plot
yeah,
was kind of like what's happening.
Wasn't as good. It was still pretty good. A lot of...
So to be fair, okay, we'll say that the Iron Man, the Punisher would be runner-up-ish area.
That's cool.
The first thing that came to mind was the Punisher, surprisingly. So
That's interesting.
I love Robert Downey Jr., but I love Robert Downey Jr. It's not necessarily like Iron Man, but him.
Yeah,
But the Punisher
right. I get it.
character, like, yes.
Okay. Well, a fictional character. So that doesn't have to be a superhero. So let's see. Dang. I know, right? I'm thinking of like cartoons and stuff, but
Nutty.
I didn't watch that. No. I don't know.
Okay.
Fictional character.
No one.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't know.
That was bad.
Well,
Yeah, that's
Ed, and
stupid.
Eddie would be way worse if that's what I said.
God, some of these are just like these are definitely like private, like intimate conversations, like not fun to talk about, but you would just talk about it to talk about it. If social media didn't exist, how would your life be different? I was just talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
I went to go pick up some food from a restaurant, the chicken place, and I went to the pickup counter. They're like, "Oh, you're picking up blah blah blah," and then they disappeared. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, do I have my phone in my hands or do I put it away? I didn't want to like dig around forever, but like, what do you do? And I couldn't remember a time when I would go into a restaurant to pick up food or like anywhere and like where I just have to stand there awkwardly. Like, do I just stand there? Do I read things or do I just get on my phone and start like scrolling? Like,
Right.
it's like a way to avoid awkwardness.
Yeah, and yeah, we did talk about this earlier, and it's like the weird thing is if you're standing there, not on your phone, all of a sudden you do look weird. It's like,
Mhm.
wait, I shouldn't look
Yeah.
weird. I
Then
mean, I'm
you-
not doing anything. Like, I'm just chilling. That's
Then
what we're
you-
supposed to do.
Right. Then you catch someone's eyes, your eye contact,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I just thought your hair was pretty. But then like you're staring at them and you're like, oh God,
Then they're like, oh my God, they want to fight.
maybe.
I got to get ready to fight. And I didn't think I would have to.
But anyways, I don't like social media. Honestly, if we could take it all back, I'd be super happy with that. I think that I would have like really thrived in life. Like what do you call those? Like the settlers or whatever, people like in the US.
The
Like
frontier.
sprawling up. Yep. That I picture like having like just in Colorado, like sprawling green. Like they didn't have as many trees in Boulder area. Like they planted a shit ton of those. But like just like
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to wash your hands after you poop back then.
right. There you go. And
They
I'm
don't
used to
even
that.
care. Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing like nothing and just knowing that you are the first person to touch foot like in a specific area. Like maybe not so much like, but at the time, like yeah, you're exploring and you're seeing new things like that. I love that. I wish I could have been alive then. This one's such a dumb question. If you had $5,000 you must spend, how would you spend them? I would save them. I'd buy a house. I'd put it toward the house.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I don't know. Maybe we're just
I'd buy a
rational
bunch of
people, but
guns.
I don't know. $5,000. I think I'd probably buy musical equipment.
Really?
I mean, not with all five. I don't know what I would do with $5,000. I've never
I'd pay
just
for wedding shit.
blown $5,000 before.
I would blow that $5,000 on wedding shit.
But it wouldn't even cost $5,000.
It could though. Like imagine like we
But
could
why
have like
would
a
it?
really dope venue.
Yeah, that
Like if you
sounds
had
dumb.
if you had to spend $5,000, you had to
No.
and get like a nice place to do it. Pretty rings and I mean mine's nice. But
Yeah,
maybe
maybe I
spend
would pay that off or something. But
right.
no, I would not be okay with that. I would rather spend like $1,000 on our wedding to make improvements if we wanted to, and then the other $4,000 to go towards something that would make us potentially more money in the future or something better.
I like this one.
One time lately that you made me feel great about myself, and how can you do that more often? Today, coming out here, it's felt great having, I mean, you paid for this hotel, and this has been fantastic. I mean, it's really, I mean, not that I needed any sort of proof that you love me or anything, but
you
just
wanna feel
like
special
doing
more
stuff like
often.
this is really nice. And no, I don't really want or need to do this more often. I just love that we do it. Like, I love it when we do it. It's fun. So,
It was very fun.
yeah. Are we trying to make it through this deck or?
No, God, no.
Okay.
What
We're
time?
over an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
We can cut it off.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to just like dead cut it off, but
Wait, what's the noise?
I don't know. Yeah. Something that
So
nobody
great.
will like to hear. I'm sure even you won't like to hear.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine. I love that noise. I could do it all an hour. I could do it forever.
Let's start you a podcast with just the, we'll call it the zero tune in or the no fan podcast or something.
We'll definitely do this tomorrow night. This is fun. I enjoy this.
It's easy to do.
I'm just a guest, though. Everyone that's watching, aka,
Just a
like
guess.
5 people.
No.
Just a guest. Sorry, I
You're
know I keep
shooting for
doing
the
that.
well, that no,
Sorry.
but also you're shooting for the stars, saying that 5 people are going to watch this. That's a real stretch, B. I don't know. I would guess out of everyone that we know and everyone who might watch this, one
My
person,
mom will.
your mom will be the one person to make it this far.
I burped earlier, and you didn't even acknowledge it.
It was weak. I mean,
Well, let's go smoke those little cigar boys.
yeah. So
Acid cigars.
Acid Cigars
Buy 'em
sponsor
at
us.
your local cigar shop.
They've got the blonde. I think that's the one that I got for your mom
So
for
good.
Christmas.
Nice and
That
sweet.
one's really good. It's got like
for
a
old
blue wrap on
ladies.
it. we don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that. It's
We
just
smoke
like
cigarettes.
the occasional cigar. But we get these acid mix, these C notes, these little cigars. They're like 5 in a pack or something, and it costs like the same amount as a actual normal size cigar. So yeah, those have been great. So yeah, let's do that, and hopefully there's not a cop right outside here ready to bust us or whatever.
How do you end these things? Thanks everybody for watching, listening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Hit me up 720-308. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you already said way too much, but yeah. That's it. We'll probably
play some more tomorrow night, definitely. So stay tuned for another podcast of us being boring, listing off these boring ass questions from these boring ass cards.
Maybe we won't even look at those cards tomorrow, and it'd be even better. So you guys take care. We'll talk to you soon. Eli, my fiance, my love, Kirsten. Why are you looking at me like that?
You said they were boring. You don't want to play with them.
No, they're bored.
Oh, that's
probably.
fair. Whatever. Who cares? Good conversations.
Yeah. We could make it happen without this, though. All right. We're out of here. Say bye, B.
Bye.
Bye, gang.